Okay, if you're tuning in with us today, a lot of this class will be done on a flat surface, the floor, your bed, or you could sit in a chair and work against the wall if you wanted to stand. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. On a hot day where you don't feel like moving, which is going to be a hot day for everybody across the country, I think, if you'll move gently, especially people that have different things like osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoporosis, these types of things, joints, we still need to move some. Yes, we don't need to get overheated. However, so get yourself so that you can be situated in a bed. A lot of us could use our program, our exercise program would facilitate our lining up, especially if we tend to have forward head syndrome. And we could start in the bed if we knew how to do that. And then if we just would change our habits so that we did a few little moves differently in the bed. So here we go. Okay. So, of course, if I'm in the bed, that's how I'm going to start. If I'm standing up, which is what most of you guys are doing with me right now, I'm going to go ahead and do some movement patterns getting down into the floor. So what are the movement patterns? First of all, I'm going to recap. I'm going to touch my knees to my seat on my chair. Okay. So my toes are right under the chair. And then I just push my butt back and I feel, am I pushing the chair forward? If you're pushing the chair forward when you're doing this, and this is what I introduced this little test just the other day, but this is a really great way to test the way you're moving, especially bending. And we are going to bend in order to get down into the ground today, okay, or on the floor. I don't mean to say in the ground, I meant on the floor. I hope you're laughing about that. Okay, you got to laugh once in a while about all this. Okay, here we go. I'm pushing my butt back and I'm coming down. And I'm going to put my elbows right here on the little pillow on the chair. And I'm pushing my butt back. After I've done that, and then I've unfolded and folded just 3 times. Come down, put my elbows in the chair. Then I'm going to step back with one leg. So this is part of the movement dynamic warm up. Okay. Gentle moving to just get yourself unstuck. See how I put one leg back and I got one knee at the chair. My elbows are down on the chair. See that? So when you have your elbows down, you need to make sure your shoulders are down. Okay, so after I've held that for just a bit, I'm gonna bring that one up and change. So I'm gonna slip the other leg back. And you might have noticed when you put your foot back like that, that you feel a lot of tightness in your calf. So we don't wanna hang out here too long. We do wanna change it. But you see how I'm supporting myself with my elbows? And it gets me in a downward position without putting undue stress on my shoulders. I'm stepping out. I'm pressing that heel down. Then I'm going to release, bend the knee, bring it back. And I'm just gently pushing into my elbows and into my forearms. Okay? Drop your shoulders, slip the other leg back. Go into that heel down position. Breath through the nose. Out through the nose if possible. So you notice I'm going to do these 3 times on both legs. I went to 1, 2, and now this is the 3rd time back. Now I'm going to press that heel down. You're gently pushing into the forearms and the elbow. Then you come back, last time. And now this time, the 3rd time, after taking that back and just holding it for just a couple seconds, you should notice it not quite as tight as it was. That's what our goal is to start gently moving that into a better position with our muscles. Okay, so now I'm going to do my first hip drop. Okay, I'm going to swing it up and back. I'm going to soften my elbows, keep my ears between my biceps. Then I'm going to just rotate into the toes, keep my heels down if possible. They're going to come up, but you want to try to keep them pushing down. You know why? That keeps your legs in a more straight pattern. And then I just swing back. So I don't want to do a huge effort. I just want to loosen up the cobwebs in your back and in your joints. So tuck your chin because your ears need to be beside your biceps here. And you're stretching and pulling. Now, before we do this move on the floor, we're going to do it from the chair position. And as I said when I started this, so we're going to do the cat camel. The cat camel I find to be a very good warm up. Okay, your tummy is tight. You're pushing up through the shoulders like a mad cat. You keep your knees soft, and then you gently drop the middle of the back so that you're like in a camel position. And you just do that 3 times. Okay, so I'm going to drop my head. I'm going to push my shoulders up, support my back with my tummy. My knees are soft. Now I'm going to rotate my hip position and bring my chin up just a little bit. And then the last time, 3 times each. Here we go. So knees are soft, shoulders are pushing up to round up through that back. Rotate the hips, soften the elbows, and bring the chin up. Okay? Woo! Take a breath. It's supposed to be a hot one today, so we're moving through our really great moves gently. Okay, now I'm just gonna step back and drop my knee down and drop my other knee down. Okay, so now I'm kneeling beside my chair. Okay, so I'm going to come from that position and go right on down to all fours. So when I can get into the floor, or if I'm on my bed, either or, it doesn't matter. Okay, if you can't get down on the floor and you don't have your bed right there, you can do all of this from the chair. Okay, so just proceed with the chair, your hands on the chair. So here I am, and now I'm going to do the cat camel in a different position, being on the floor. So you're doing the very same moves, only you've lowered your upper body a little bit more, and you're on your knees. Now, if you're on your knees and it gives you a problem, just go ahead and put that pad under your knees. That's perfectly fine. So see how I'm rotating back and forth from a cat to a camel position? See that? Take a big deep breath, big deep breath, big deep breath. Okay? Up and back, up and back, up and back. Cat and camel. So if you choose a cat camel position to loosen up through your lower back, you do it very slowly. Okay? So here I am, coming right down. I could be flat in my bed or on the floor. Okay? So if I'm in my chair, which you can do this from your chair, you just pretend you're sitting. See, pretend I got a chair right under my butt. Okay? And you're going to just bring your knees here. Take a big deep breath. I got my elbow right here, right under my shoulder. See that? And all I'm going to do is open that hip. Okay? See that? So I'm going to do a couple of these on each side. I'm going to come back to this. All right? So I'm right here. So if you're on the chair, I'll get up here in a minute and show you what I'm talking about. See this? You come back down. Okay. If you have wonky hips, this is a clam move. It's an open and close. It is not a rolling back. Okay, that's kind of important. Okay, take a big deep breath. Keep your shoulder tucked down and rotate and come back. So I'm only gonna do about 3. Then I'm gonna just come to sit right here. I'm gonna roll over and do the other side. I'll turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna roll over here. So I put nice pressure through the shoulder because the elbow is right underneath. Then I'm gonna bring my knee up and back and up and back. Take a big breath. So it's a lift, it's an opening. It's not a rolling. So don't be rolling back on your hip when you're doing this. So on this one, I'm going to keep my chin tucked, roll it open and back. Okay. About three or 4 times, not a lot right now. Okay. Then I'm going to come right back to sitting. So I would be sitting on my chair. If I chose to sit on my chair, that would be fine. And I would just roll back. Okay, see how this is rolling? Then I'm going to come back up. See, I didn't go all the way down. So I'm just right here. Drop your shoulders. So this is about back, really good back moves to help you loosen and strengthen to gain more mobility. Okay, so I'm sitting right here. And for some people, this is very difficult to sit like this, okay? Because you want to round your back. So I'm saying don't round your back. Open here if you need to. Tighten here, okay? Don't round your back. Now, I'm not going to do a sit up. I'm going to do a sit back. So I have to be in this position. I can do this. I could have done every one of these that I just now did with you right in my bed, okay, before I swing my legs out and get on my way. So if you're sitting in the floor, this is a big deal, and I understand that. So put your hands, if you need to, right back here. And you notice where I put my fingertips. They're facing forward into my hip. I'm going to drop my shoulders, open at the hip, just like that, so that I can keep this back very extended, okay? Now I'm going to take one leg down, bring it up, take one leg down, bring it up. Ask yourself, when you do this move, did you round your back? Did you round your shoulders? Okay, so those are kind of where I would be focused if I had you in this position, because this is calling forth your core. And if you doubt that, you have your hands back here. See, I'm giving you this move right here to help. I'm giving you giving it to you as an accepted modification. Okay, typically we call it a cheater move. But I'm saying if you keep your back extended in this position with your elbows pushing back, your shoulders down, okay? If you keep your back extended, that means rib cage up, then this is an okay move, because you're not going to put stress on that back in this position. See, it's a sit back, and then I'm going to move forward. And then it's going to be a sit back and a move forward. All right. I'm going to drop one leg, because you're going to build a lot of tension up right here. Okay. We're going to handle that in just a minute. But this is really going to be focusing today on the core. Okay. Because the core is your foundation for moving your limbs, your arms, your legs, everything else. So You can do a lot by learning this particular move that I'm doing right now, okay? And some of you might be just rolling your eyes and saying, oh yeah, right. I'm telling you, you can do a lot of this sitting in a chair, leaning back, one leg down, one leg up, one leg down, one leg up. See that? This is tight, braced. I'm breathing through my nose, out through my nose. I say rib cage up. When I say rib cage up, wow, does that help straighten up the back? See, I'm doing a sit back, and then I'm gonna pull forward. Now, you can have your hands under here if you wanted to. You could even use your tea towel. If you got a tea towel, see, you could even do this. This is an acceptable thing. You know what's not acceptable in this position? Caving back here, going into a rounded back. That's what I don't want you to do. Now, we're using these a lot right here, okay? So stay with me, all right? So I'm right here. I'm grabbing my towel, see that? And I say rib cage up. See? My toes are up. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Now open at the hip. Open at the hip, open at the hip, open at the hip. Don't go all the way down. Okay, now pull, 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 pull. Okay? So this is one of those moves that can do incredible things for your core, your neck, everything. Or it could, if it's done wrong, sloppy, okay, it could cause you some strain in your neck, strain in your back, and I don't want to do that. So I'm right here. See, the knees are up, the rib cage is up, right? I let you use your tea towel right underneath your the back of your legs. All right, drop your shoulders. Now open, keep your rib cage up, open at the hip, open at the hip, open at the hip, open at the hip. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. Say rib cage up, come forward, come forward, come forward. Yay. All right, how you doing? I hope okay. We're gonna do one more of these, because if you're doing this correctly, you're getting a lot of tension right in those hip flexors, okay? And you're pulling, 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 pulling. So this is a modification. This could also be a modification. See this? That's perfectly fine. You're opening at the hip, you're keeping your rib cage up, your elbows are pointing back, not out. Okay, you come down, you come down, you come down. You're really firing right here, big time, and then push and come up. Now we're gonna do that roll that I promised. We're gonna go here first, then we're gonna go here, okay? And you notice on this one, I go ahead and let you bring your hand forward. See, as if you were gonna turn around. So you're rolling across the fleshy part of your butt right here. Okay, there's a joke there somewhere, but I won't go there. Okay, then you rotate, bring the hand over here, as if you were gonna go ahead and get up, but you're not. See that? So when you come here and you're rolling across the hip, bring the hand here, okay? This is the beginning of this move, so stick with me, you guys. Okay, your shoulders are down, number one. So now I'm gonna roll again. See, I'm bringing my legs over. I'm gonna take this arm with me, and I'm gonna act like I'm gonna get up, but I do not get up. I'm just doing a non-back twisting rotation because I'm bringing my upper body with my lower body. That's kind of an important thing here. Okay, so here I am, breath, drop your shoulders, rib cage up, rotate your legs down, rotate down, rotate down, rotate down, and you press now all the way down with your face to the floor. See this? Okay, take a breath, then I'm gonna rotate, cross the butt, Bring both my hands here, okay? And I'm gonna act like I'm gonna do a push-up. So I'm gonna bring my chin and chest right down to the floor. Take a big breath. Knees are right here, getting good recovery move here. And we're gonna go down. And we're gonna come back. Okay, just once or twice. You don't have to do like a ton. All right, so it's a good movement pattern to start with. Okay. Now you can leave a pillow in here. I'm going to put my feet in the chair, so get ready for that. Okay. My heels are going to go here. If you wanted to leave a pad there, you could, or put it under your head. Now, as promised, I'm going to show you what I would like somebody. See how I'm going to put one leg up here? I'm going to lay down and put the other leg up there. Okay. So here's the deal, y'all. Some of you are contributing by your sleeping position, your screwed up neck and upper shoulders and back. So in order to get realigned, you really got to keep moving yourself down to a flat head, flat surface position. Now, I've worked with a lot of people, and I know that there are those of you out there that cannot lay here like this because you have grown into a forward head position. So what I will start doing is I will start using a flatter type surface like this disc, and I will slip it under somebody's head and drop their shoulders and pull their shoulder blades down and in, okay? Not hard, but just to realign. So this even is an improvement over putting stacks of pillows under you. So I will start with trying to get you stretching into this position with something under your head. Now, I go from this to then a little thinner one. I'm gonna go on down because I can, and because that's where I'm gonna end up wanting you. So again, your shoulders are down, your back is not jammed into the floor here, okay? A neutral spine has a curve to it. You should be able to get a little Matchbox toy under your back. Right now, just take your fingers and see if you can get it under your back, the small of your back. If you can put your fingers under there, the flat of your hand, then you're good to go. Okay, so you want to stay in that position. You want to keep your ears over your shoulders, keep your chin tucked, and stay in this position as long as you can. If you need to put something under your head, well, of course do, because you can only do so much in one time. Okay, so I'm right here. I'm going to go from this position to teaching you and working with you one of the most important things for backs, hips, knees even. So I'm going to put my heels right here. My back, again, is not jammed into the floor. It's in an S neutral curve. Then I'm going to press into the heels and just lift my hip a little bit, not a lot. Okay? So understand if you have your feet up on a chair, or sometimes people will put a big pillow under them, that's okay too. But if you have your knees at a 90 degrees, that's a big lift. So you don't have to go all the way up. So rotate your hip and then press up and then come down, okay? And we're getting great movement through the spine. It's gentle and it's squeezing up. So you're coming up like a string of pearls. You don't have to go super high. Just come down, 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 and then go into that neutral spine position so that you can put your fingers under the small of your back. Then rotate, press on the heels, and come up, and then come back down. Take a big breath. Here we go. We're going to press up, and then we're going to rotate and come down. Now, a little word of caution here. If you've chosen to put your feet up on the chair, it might be too much for some of you. Some of you might do better by putting your heels on the floor, on the pillow, only 2-inch, and then rotate and lift and rotate and come back down. So if you're in the bed and doing this, a couple of these, you know, by a couple, I mean maybe 2 sets of 20 or 1 set or 3 sets of 10. Let's do that. See how I'm just floating up? So I started with the bigger move, and then if you found that that was too much, then you just bring your feet down flat, put your heels down, and rotate and come up, and then back down and back down. Now we're not going to do a ton of these. We're going to do a few, and then we're going to hold. So I'm going to rotate up, rotate up, rotate up. I'm going to check what I'm doing with my neck, what I'm doing with my shoulders. I'm hanging out up here. Take a big deep breath, and then I'm coming down. Then I'm going to bring a knee in and up. Okie dokie. So it's in and up. Bring it back in and down. Here we go. Knee into the shoulder and up. So if you're doing this and you bring that knee in and it's way out here, you want to bring it right in here and then up until you feel a little stretch and then come down and come down. Okay? Now, if you found that the lower level was what you needed to do, then you stay there. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the chair, and I'm going to go up from here, and I'm going to hold about 3 of these. Just hold. Okay? It's a hot day. It's a hot day in our houses. It's hot everywhere. You don't need to do a lot of super repetitions. I'm trying to show you something that's going to unstick your back and your hip. Are you ready? So I'm at the higher level. You can go on the floor or put your heels on the disc, and you're going to tighten your butt. You're going to lift. You're going to hang out here for a little bit. Take a breath, and then you're going to come down. Take a breath. Bring your knees in, and you come up gently. And then you come back down. And then you come back in. And then you go again, either lower level or higher level. You squeeze, you lift, you hang out here for a little bit. Breath, breath, breath. Then you come down, bring your knees in. You can do them one at a time. You can do them both together. It's up to you. And then last one, here we go. Are you ready? So we're going to hang out there for a bit. You don't have to go all the way up. Drop your shoulders again, shoulder blades in. And breathe in through the nose, press through the heels, lift, hold, 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 and come back down. Nice. Okay, bring the knee in, bring the knee in. Okay, you're going to keep one knee in always. You're going to take the other leg and just let it just open to the side. Now, I know I have lots of people in this class that have hip replaced, okay? You get real nervous when you go out. So I'm telling you, put your hand right here, keep one knee right over your belly button, and you open the other one as far as you feel you can until you feel a gentle stretch in your groin. Then you bring it back, okay? So it's just a gentle opening, 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 opening until you feel that stretch. Keep the knee bent. Breath, breath. Then you bring it back. You hang out there for a couple seconds. And here we go. We're going to open, 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 open. As far as we feel we can. Till you feel that stretch in the groin. Big breath. Big breath, big breath, big breath. and bring it back in. Yay. All right, one leg is in, right here, over the belly button, kind of. Knee bent, leg is straight now. See that? So I'm gonna come in, and I'm just gonna come up. This is nothing fast. When I get all the way up, I'm gonna point, flex my foot, point, flex, bring her down, bring her down, bring her down. Now hover right above that chair. Really make your tummy really support this move. See, I'm just tapping right here. Breath, in through the nose, out through the nose. See how I'm just hanging out down here. My back is not jammed into the floor again. It's in a neutral spine. This is working my tummy. Then I bring it in. Big breath, hang out here for a second. Round with your ankles, round, circular, circular, circular. Okay, hang on to that leg. And now we're gonna take this leg out. Right there. See, it's tapping the calf right on the chair. So you make that tummy work. Bring her in. Bring her back down. Tap, tap, tap with a straightened out leg. And you notice I'm using my chair as a gauge so I don't go down too far. Take a big breath. In through the nose. Out through the nose if possible. Right here. Just hang out here. Just hang out here. Right above the chair. Just a press, 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 press. Big breath, big breath, big breath, big breath. And come back in. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Now the hands go right beside us. The elbows are bent. Make sure nothing is in your way. And what I'm wanting to see, what I would be checking right now if I were with you, number one, I'm going to start this little kind of a rotation. See this? You're hanging out up here with your legs, and then you just kind of go tap to the heel, not the calf. You tap to the heel and then come back. At the same time, I'm trying to get your shoulders down, and I want the back part of your wrist and the side outside of your elbow all on the ground. So some of you have bent your elbows. You bent your wrists, and you're trying not to bend that wrist, okay? Try to make it neutral. Take a big breath. I want to sink my shoulders down as I'm tapping my heels on that chair. So if you were in the bed, you could do this quite well. You're just open out like this. You just tap down on a pillow, tap down, take a breath, in through the nose, out through the nose, tap, 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 tap. Drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders. Is your elbow, your forearm, your back of your hands, all of that should be down on the ground. All the back, on the outside of your arms. See how I'm tapping, tapping, tapping? Breath, breath, breath. So I call this the rack. You can do this rack position with upper body against a wall, or my preferred method is down on the ground, like we're doing right now, because it is a great facilitator to help you straighten up. Okay, just hang out here. Now we're going to take our hands and we're going to go straight out with them. Some of you can't go above your head. I understand that. So what I want you to do is bring your hands into your ears like you're putting your thumb in your ear. And then you help yourself go up above your head as far as you feel you can, and then come back down. Thumbs in the ears, up, 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 up. And I'm resting my feet on the chair. And then I come back down, come back down, come back down. Take a big deep breath. Now we're gonna roll. And I'm gonna be right here. Let me move back so you can see what I'm doing. Don't come up all of a sudden, you'll get dizzy. That's just the way it is. We're nothing but a bunch of fluids moving around, so don't move quick when you're on the floor. So I got my little pillow here in position so it doesn't hurt my shoulder, number one. Number two, I'm going to put my hand behind me. See that? So my chest, my front of my shoulder is down, okay? So I'm right here now, and I can do quite well a nice little clammy move. So when I'm doing this position with my shoulder, let me show you again how you do that. And if I could make you sign me a promise that when you lay down, when you turn on your side, depending on if you're a side sleeper, a back sleeper, whatever, you're going to sleep whichever. I'm saying when you lay down to go to sleep, instead of doing this, see how I come in like this and I lay my head down like this on my pillow? Instead of doing that, at least start with opening this back. See? So now the front part of my chest, the front part of my shoulder is open. And I'm down here, stack my knees. See that? And then I just open and close. So I'm saying start this way when you're starting to go to sleep and just open that. You'll end up back where you're going to be. However, this really helps you understand how to realign things. And yeah, if you could do it with your head on the ground, well, that would be my preferred position. However, some of you cannot do that. So you go ahead and put a little pillow under there. That's perfectly fine. Notice what I'm doing here. See this? This position right here ensures, not totally, that you won't roll back in order to open this. See? Breath. Big breath. Big breath. Here we go. Breath. See, I'm just rolling it. I'm not doing hard work, but I'm putting a load right here on some very small muscles that is doing this little clammy move, okay? Take a big breath. Now, in order to get up out of this, see, I'm just gonna push like this. See that? And I can either get up on my hands and knees and roll to the other side, or go front ways. See, I'm gonna turn like that. You can use a pillow or not. So I'm gonna go right here. And now you see what this looks like from the back. So pretend you're going to sleep. What are you gonna do? You tend to do this. You roll your hand this way and you put your head down on your pillow, right? I'm saying put your hand back here. Okay? Bend the knees. Okay, now you're in position with or without a pillow. Okay? It's up to you. You can use a pillow or not. But then I'm going to raise and lower my little leg. See, it's a press. Bring it back down. It's a press. Open. This is not done fast. So I'm just opening, closing like a little clam. I am not rolling my hip. Okay? I'm staying very open on my shoulder. Take a big breath. In through the nose. Out through the nose if possible. Just 3 more little lifts. Big breath. Okay, one more. And come back down. Okay. Now, you bring your pillow under your tummy or under your chest or wherever you can put it that's going to be able to facilitate you being in a hyperextended position with your back. See what I'm doing? So I'm going to use 2 pillows. One may be plenty for you. So my shoulders are down. My shoulder blades are into my back, rolling in. I'm going to put, first of all, my elbows on my little disc. Okay, that's going to raise me 2 inches. Now, if you want to put pillows under here and just hang out here for a bit, that's okay too. Your back will thank you. Okay, drop your shoulders. Okay, your hands are here, and I'm just hanging out here for a second. I'm going to go toe down. I don't know if you can see my toes. Drop your shoulders. Say rib cage up. Drop your chin. I'm going to go toe down position because that's stretching underneath my foot. And then I'm going to go point. So that contracts through the calf. Now the toes go down. Now just hang out here for a bit. Let the underneath of that foot stretch. Your toes are curled, under so that you're pushing. Okay, now all you're going to do in this position, keep your shoulders down, is I'm going to contract one leg at a time, and I'm going to bring the knee up as I push into my toe. Okay, don't do it hard. Some of you have toe issues. I understand. Believe me, I understand toe issues. That's why you do this very gently. See, you don't push hard into the toe, but it's a stretch. Take a breath, drop your shoulders again, in through the nose, drop your chin, drop your shoulders. See how I'm contracting one leg and bringing the knee up, pressing into the toe, bring the other knee up, press into the toe. And let me tell you, if you have different joints replaced, you feel quite a difference from one leg to the other. This is a great move to do. I mean, you could even roll over and, do this little back extension, keep your chin tucked, get yourself lined up for your day. Okay, big breath. Yes. Then we're going to push our butt up, crawl myself in gently. Okay. And then I'm going to push my butt back just as much as I can. And see, for me, I can't go very far here because my knee is going to not let me. I understand it. Take a big breath. You're hanging out here for a bit. Then you're going to come up here. Take a big breath. Okay. If you need to, if you're on your knees and you're in the floor and you need to put a pillow under your knee, well, now's the time to do it. Okay. I'm okay. I don't need one, but if you need to, put your knee under there. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring this leg up just like this. And then we're going to go out here like this. Those of you with replaced hips, do it very gently. So I've got my toe pointed that way. See that? Then I'm going to push just gently on the inside of the knee. And I'm going to turn in the opposite way, the opposite position. And I'm pushing against my knee here. And I'm looking the opposite way. Take a big deep breath. Keep your shoulders down. In through the nose, out through the nose. It's just a nice, gentle stretch right there, okay? Then you bring this in and switch, okay? This is where, if you need your pad under your knee, put it under your knee. So you're going to change the legs. So now I'm on this one. I'm going to put my hand on the inside of my knee. I'm going to push gently out. And then I'm going to turn and look the opposite direction as I'm pushing this knee back opposite, okay? And you're going to feel a really good stretch, really deep into the groin there. Take a big breath. Say rib cage up. Whoo. Big breath. Rib cage up. Big breath. Rib cage up. Okay, then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to go ahead and push into my toes. I'm going to be right here on my chair, in my knees, and come up out of that move. Okay, see where we're at here. Good. Okay, so a lot of moves down on the ground. Hip lifts, very important. And I tried to give you different positions to do that. Now what I want you to do is pretend with me that you got a hula hoop. Okay, I've got several downstairs, but I know that some of you might not have them. So I'm going to just do what you're doing. I'm going to pretend I have one. I'm going to push my hips forward. Then I'm going to push my hip to the side, the hip to the back, the hip to the side, the hip forward. So here's the deal. If you have a hip replaced, be very careful that you keep your knees bent, okay? That's going to give you a safety so that you don't overwork. See what I'm doing? See what I'm doing? I'm just pretending I have a hula hoop, and I'm doing it in slow motion. That's all. So I'm going to keep my chin tucked. You can put your hands here to help kind of remind yourself what you're doing. So I'm doing it kind of in stages. Of course, if you had a real hula hoop, you couldn't do this. You would have to get with it. But you know what? Here's the deal. Why am I doing this little silly move? It's a great move to help your back, your hips, your hamstrings, your quads, and you're barefooted, so you're working from side to side. So there's some of these, you know, old-fashioned like fitness things or play toys that are really very good. But here's the deal. We get our arthritis, we have life happens to us. Well, we quit playing. We quit doing the hula hoop, right? Okay, we're doing the hula hoop. Okay, I got you all loosened up through your groin, through your hips, through your back, by all that stuff we did in the beginning. Okay, now I'm going to go the other way. So, just so you know, you started doing this hula hoop going in your preferred fashion. Okay, now go opposite. Okay, and you notice I'm not doing extreme moves here. So when you have rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, hips replaced, joints replaced, back issues, you need to leave the extreme position type things to the young and the dumb. Okay, you heard it here first. Okay, I'm doing a very good move. See this move? So when I go forward with my hips, my knees are soft, almost bent. Then when I go, I'm still working opposite. I'm going to push the hip back. Now I'm going to push the hip all the way behind me, now to the side, and now up. And I would encourage you to slow it down. Many of you who have done the hula hoop, you want to start doing one real fast. Don't do that. Take the time to do at least 6 to 10 of these rotations on either side, okay? Now, while you're doing this, let me just ask you a simple question. A, is your shoulders down while you're doing this? B, are your knees soft while you're doing this? Yeah? Is your tummy in or your rib cage up? Yeah. So there's always that, all right? Here I come back around, here I come back around, here I come back around, here I come back around. Take a big deep breath. I have my little chair here. I'm going to put my hands right here. And I'm just going to see how easy is it for you, for me, to just do this move. See this? See this? And like, if you need to do it on one side versus the other, don't bend forward, because some of you will, by virtue of bending forward, I will just guarantee you round your back. So in order to do this 90-degree hip position, Keep your back extended. Bring the knee all the way up. Don't do that little cheater move like this. See, I'm sliding it. That's a cheater move. Just so you know. Put your hand here. Say rib cage up. Tight tummy. Soften the supporting knee. Bring the knee up and put it on the chair. And bring it back down. Okay? I'm going through some of these moves that involve hips, backs, legs, very methodically today to help you with your movement patterning, okay? And to see how easy it is for me to fold, how easy it is it for me to bring this up, how easy is it or hard or challenging for me to get down and back up and do it without hurting my back. So that's your test for today. So we did some Walker's Daily Dozens. We did a lot of hippie type loosening up and moves from the floor, okay? So I hope that was beneficial for you. It's gonna be a hot day today.